Scarcity is a lens. Also, abundance is a lens. Ultimately, you get to choose which one you're going to look through. Look at it like a pair of glasses, okay? Which pair are you going to go with? It is a choice. People think, oh, I can't control it. It's not a choice. It is a choice, you guys. You get to control your thoughts day in and day out. They don't control you. And if you think they do, that is a limiting belief because it's just not the case, okay? You get to choose which lens you're going to look at your world through. And that choice changes everything for you. The second you make that decision, your whole world will change. It's really a ripple effect.
Welcome to Next Level You podcast. I'm Stephanie Dingbaum, your host, your biggest cheerleader, and your go-to girlfriend for real, raw, and uplifting conversations about leveling up in life. As a mental health therapist with over a decade of experience and a business coach helping women elevate their lives and businesses, I'm here to guide you through the mindset shifts, holistic practices, and manifestation tools you need to step into your most authentic, next level self. Whether you're here to ignite your personal growth, elevate your professional game, or simply rediscover you, this podcast is your invitation to dream bigger, go after your goals, and unapologetically claim the life you deserve. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. It's time to up-level, manifest, and glow.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Next Level You podcast, episode 86 today. Wow, I'm getting really close to 100, and that makes me really freaking excited. I need to come up with an idea for how I'm going to celebrate hitting 100 episodes, because to me, that's a pretty big milestone. So stay tuned for that. There will be some kind of a celebratory giveaway or something or other. I will come up with something fun to do for that. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. I want to talk to you guys about going from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset, because this mindset shift, if you truly take this on and make this shift for yourself mentally, it changes everything. And I can't emphasize that enough. This shift is life-changing. It was for me. It's been life-changing for my clients. And so it just makes the most sense to come on here and talk about this. I was going to do just like a little, I had the idea of doing like just little like mini episodes, like, 5-10 minute episodes, and talking about like, I was going to call it Mindset Matters. And then I was just going to talk about like little mindset hacks that you can incorporate that I use in my coaching. But I decided I want to devote more time to this because, I could easily talk about it for 5 minutes and then be done. But there's more to it than just the basic concept. And so I'm going to dive into this today because I kind of take for granted and I assume that you guys know what I'm talking about when I say scarcity or lack mindset. And I don't think I should assume that moving forward. So I'm going to explain this concept to you guys today. And I want you guys to understand that when you are consistently in that scarcity mindset and thinking out of that mindset, it's keeping you stuck. And I want you to understand the powerful shift that happens when you finally decide to move into more of an abundance mindset. And then I'm also going to give you guys some actionable tools that you can use to help you ultimately just completely rewire your whole mindset. And it overflows into every area of your life. Okay, so have you guys ever caught yourself thinking, there's not enough time, I don't have enough money, I'm not getting enough clients in the door, there's not enough opportunities out there for me, I'm not experiencing enough love in my life? If any of these phrases have come across your mind, you're stuck in that scarcity mindset. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you for being there. You're actually more like, that's more normal than you realize. However, I'm not here for the normal. I'm here for going against the grain of the sand. Okay. I'm here for the unicorns. All right. Let's stand out. Let's be different. So this episode might crack you open a little bit. Actually, I want to rephrase that. I hope this episode cracks you wide open. Okay. For me, when I dove into this mindset work, when I finally decided I'm going to adopt an abundance mindset and I'm going to make this my new norm, I made this decision when I was I was in the muck of the fertility journey. I was in it deep. And that was when I decided, okay, I need to make a mindset shift. I need to stop thinking from this scarcity or lack mindset. And when I made that decision during that journey, it was literally the catalyst for a massive shift for me. And naturally, I want that for everybody else in my life. Okay. So that's why I'm here sharing it with you guys today. I want to set the tone though. Okay. I want to set the vibe for today's episode. This isn't just about manifesting more. Okay. Having an abundance mindset is not it's not solely for manifesting more. Can it help with manifesting more? Absolutely it can, but it's not the sole reason why I think you need to adopt this mindset. It's so much more than that, actually. This adopting an abundance mindset is about fundamentally changing how you see the world. And then as a result of that, how you see yourself in it. That's why this is important. Okay. I'm not in the game of shifting mindsets solely. I'm in the game of making you a better person. That's what it comes down to. Okay. First off, let me explain what scarcity really is. Let me explain what that concept means, because I realize it might not be common knowledge for everybody. Back in the day when I first started this work, that was not common knowledge to me. So I shouldn't assume that it's common knowledge to you guys. So let me define what I mean when I say scarcity mindset. Scarcity mindset is the belief that there is not enough fill in the blank. Not enough money, not enough time, not enough resources, opportunities, friends, love, you name it. It's the belief that there's not enough and that life is a zero-sum game. Does that make sense? Okay. So now that you understand what that scarcity mindset is, and sometimes I call it lack mindset too. They're both the same thing. Okay. Seeing a lot of lack in the world is the same as scarcity mindset. Okay. I want to explain where this shows up, because it shows up even when we don't realize it. Some of this is just so automatic, we don't even realize it. It shows up when you're comparing yourself to others. That comparison game is a trap. We all fall into it from time to time, but try not to, because it is such a trap. That's lack mindset. When you are comparing yourself to others, you're focusing on the lack in your life. It also shows up when you are hoarding opportunities or hoarding information. It's why, as a coach and as a therapist, I really tried to not be a gatekeeper, because as we're all like standing on the shoulders of giants. So like we somehow learned this information. Now it's our turn to pass it on to other people. But when we hoard it, we're hoarding it out of a place of lack or scarcity. Like that's not healthy. It also shows up when we're making like fear-based decisions. So decision making like based out of fear, not based on intuition. It shows up when there's like constant urgency or constant hustle. So you see it a lot in the corporate world or in like traditional Western medicine, I believe. Just in like traditional jobs, you see this a lot, that constant like hustle and urgency. And then it also shows up when you are feeling threatened by others' success. Whew, that's a doozy. That triggers some people. And when you are feeling threatened by others' success, you are focusing on the lack in your life. You are focusing on the scarcity. Okay, I want to share my story real quick, just in short, because it's in previous episodes. You can go back and listen to them. But I want to share with you how scarcity infiltrated my fertility journey. And this is so common, right? It happens for so many women. Before I get into this, though, I do want to share a quick trigger warning that I know this is a sensitive subject. Trust me, I know. My fertility journey was a 7-year-long journey. I'm no stranger to the sensitivities of going through that journey. So please understand, as I am sharing this, that this is coming from a place of true love, true compassion, and true understanding, no judgment. With that being said, though, I want you to know how changing my mindset was the best thing I did for myself through that journey. So if you're going through that journey yourself and you're listening to this episode, take this advice to heart, because it will change your life. Okay. I was in the thick of the fertility journey. It's so easy when you're like in the muck of it. It's so easy to become obsessed with wanting that outcome, the outcome being having a baby, getting pregnant. And when your mind is obsessed on it, it's all you think about. It's all you focus on. And then as a result of that, you are constantly focusing on the lack in your life, the lack of pregnancy, the lack of babies in your life, the lack of family, things like that. It's such a trap though. And that obsession turns into a form of control. We try to control every factor, every part of the journey. We try to control our cycle from month to month. We watch it like a hawk on our calendars or on our apps. We try to control how often we have sex. We try to control so much. There's so many different parts that we try to control. It's like to a detriment, really, you guys. I mean, it becomes such a problem. And that obsession and that control for me really fed into the fear that I was carrying. The fear being that my baby was not going to come to me, that it was going to go somewhere else. And so every time early on in my journey, every time somebody would announce a pregnancy, it would feed that fear. And I would immediately go into that mindset of like, why is it happening for them, but not for me? Why are they deserving of it, but I am not, And that's such, from my experience and other women going through fertility journeys of their own that I've heard about, like, this is such a common mindset to get into, but it's not helping you. It's not helping you at all. So when I finally dove into this mindset work, I dove headfirst into the abundance mindset and really wanting to adopt that mindset, because from everything I was reading, I truly believed, it's just the basic law of attraction. What you focus on is what you're going to see more of. So instead of every time I heard about a pregnancy announcement or a baby announcement, instead of immediately going to that woe is me place, that why is it happening for them but not for me, or oh great, another one for somebody else, still none for me, instead of letting myself sit in that scarcity or lack mindset, I immediately shifted into, oh my gosh, that's amazing. If they're able to get pregnant, that's just proof that I'm able to get pregnant. There's proof of abundance of pregnancies out there. It's happening abundantly all around me. I know it sounds goofy, you guys, but like this shift made a huge difference for me. So every time there was a new baby in my life, every time there was a new pregnancy, I used that as proof that this is happening in abundance. This is happening all around me. The more I see of it, the more likely I'm going to experience it. It's just a mindset shift, okay? But before I got to that place, when I was deep in the scarcity and lack mindset, I truly believe I was cultivating more scarcity and more lack into my life, okay? The cost of letting yourself set up camp in that scarcity or lack mindset is, one, scarcity keeps you small. It truly does. It makes you more anxious. Like I said before, it really fed into my fear, the fear that baby was not going to come to me. And it disconnected me from flow and from peace. And so if you're wanting to cultivate that desire, whatever that desire might be for you, but you're focused on the lack or the scarcity in your life, you're going to feel more anxious about it. There's going to be more fear in your mind about it. And you're not coming from a place of peace and flow. You're totally disconnected from that. You're coming from a place of control. And at the end of the day, you don't have the control. Okay. So you have to let go of that control. So then, like I said before, I had this awakening where I decided I'm going to dive into this abundance mindset shit. Best thing I ever did for myself. There was a point where I made this pivot and things started to shift for me. The moment I chose to trust that my baby would find me instead of trying to chase it down and control and force it into my life, the moment I made that decision to truly surrender, my world shifted because I was seeing more abundance. I was focusing on that abundance. I was practicing having that unwavering faith, and I was choosing to practice that faith daily, mind you, because you almost have to. And once I adopted that mindset that baby would find me, that divine timing is a real thing and it's not on my timeline, it's on this divine timeline, that changed my whole world. It changed my whole world. So I really encourage you to reframe whatever it is you're looking at from a scarcity or lack mindset. Reframe it.
Hey there, listeners. Are you ready to elevate your mindset and manifest your goals? If you're a female entrepreneur or someone who's been dreaming of starting your own business, I have something so exciting to share with you. I'm Stephanie Dingbaum, and I've just launched my 12-week coaching program, the Up-Level Method. It is designed to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and create the soul-aligned business and life that you've been dreaming of. So here's what you'll all get in the program: weekly one-on-one coaching calls tailored specifically to meet your goals, Voxer access for real-time support and accountability throughout the week from me, customized tools like journal prompts, meditations, and follow-up emails to keep you aligned and on track throughout the week, plus guidance to overcome imposter syndrome, rewrite limiting beliefs, and shift into an abundance mindset. The Uplevel method isn't just about checking off goals. It's about helping you step into your power as a CEO, make decisions that light you up, and build a business that feels truly authentic to who you are. And the best part, the current pricing is literally the lowest that it will ever be. If you're even slightly considering it, lock it in now, because this investment in your future self will pay off tenfold, I promise you. Payment plans are available, so don't let finances hold you back from stepping into your best self. This is your chance to stop second guessing and start showing up for your business and life with purpose and intention. If this feels aligned, DM or email me today to set up a free clarity call. Let's see if the Uplevel method is the right fit for you. All the details are in the show notes. This is your time. Let's make 2025 the year you uplevel everything.
Okay, abundance isn't necessarily about more. It can be, but not solely. It's about recognizing that there's already enough. And when you see that, more just flows naturally, okay? There's already enough pregnancies out there. There's already enough babies out there. There's already enough money in the bank account. Because then you're not functioning from a place of like, I need more, I need more, I need more. Or you can just relax into flow, in that flow state, which brings peace to your heart. So when I finally adopted that abundance mindset, it just naturally overflowed into other areas of my life. For instance, money and finances. Once I trusted that we were going to be fine, we had enough in the bank account, more just naturally flowed to me. And anytime I recognize I'm getting back into that fear state, I ground myself and I bring myself back to there's plenty in the account. There's more where that came from. There's plenty to go around. We are going to be fine. I trust. I have faith. We are being taken care of. And then more just naturally comes my way because I'm not hyper focusing on the lack and I'm not like coming from a state of fear around money. Then more naturally just flows to me. So trusting the flow versus clinging to it, that was a big one for me with our financial state. Another area that this overflowed into was my business and my clientele. So what was great about building my clientele is in the beginning, things like clients were just trickling in. Well, I say that was great, but initially I didn't think so. Initially, I very much was functioning from a place of lack and scarcity and fear. Like, what if I don't fill my caseload, blah, blah, blah. But then once I relaxed into flow state, it was like they came flooding in. And I just trusted. I wasn't forcing them to come. They just gravitated towards me because then I believed that there was more than enough out there. There was more than enough to go around. And when I adopted that mindset, and I saw an abundance. Like for a solid 9 months, I was averaging 2 new clients a week for 9 months straight, you guys. That was huge for me and my business. And that I would say came from, I shifted in the business from a like collaboration state of mind, as in like collaborate. There's multiple therapy private practices in our area, and I needed to believe that there's more than enough clients to go around. We can all collaborate with each other. We're not in competition with each other. And I think as a business owner, no matter where you're working from, no matter what industry you're in, mindset is so important. Collaboration over competition. We are not in competition with one another. You need to believe there are more than enough clients to go around. There's more than enough customers to go around. Because if you're looking at it from a competitive standpoint, that is a lack or scarcity mindset because it's competition. It's comparison. Again, that's a trap. Don't go there. Another area that this overflowed into for me were friendships. I shifted from a place of feeling threatened into a place of celebrating others instead. When I made that shift, first of all, I started to notice others in my circle that were still functioning from that place of feeling threatened. But once I shifted into celebrating others more, that was a huge game changer. And it's like women celebrating women is such a hack. We should all be functioning from that mindset. But truly, I have such an abundance of friends in my life right now. It's not even funny. And I just continuously tell myself, I'm not lacking in that area. I have an abundance, and it could not be more true. And I just continue to celebrate that fact. And then another area that this overflowed into was my personal growth journey. And what this looked like was just honoring my pace instead of rushing to this like final destination, whatever that might be. It can be so easy as a lifelong learner, it can be so easy to constantly like want the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. I used to call it like shiny object syndrome. And what it comes down to is like, I'm just a multi-passionate, multifaceted business owner. That's never going to change. I just have a lot of interests, a lot of passions. And I will always have a multifaceted business, if that's even a word, or even a thing. And I just honor the pace at which I go. Like, it's not all going to happen overnight. It's not all going to like come to fruition immediately, but just honor the pace at which I go and be okay with that. Again, function from a state of flow versus a forced, controlled, rushing state. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be back in that burnout state of mind. And I think the way to avoid that is to come from an abundance mindset. Truth bomb time. Scarcity is a lens. Also, abundance is a lens. Ultimately, you get to choose which one you're going to look through. Look at it like a pair of glasses, okay? The first pair of glasses you try on, scarcity lens. The second pair of glasses you try on, abundance lens. Which pair are you going to go with? It is a choice. People think, oh, I can't control it. It's not a choice. It is a choice, you guys. You get to control your thoughts day in and day out. They don't control you. And if you think they do, that is a limiting belief because it's just not the case, okay? You get to choose which lens you're going to look at your world through. And that choice changes everything for you. The second you make that decision, your whole world will change. I can promise you that. It's really a ripple effect. The second you make the decision to adopt an abundance mindset, it's a true ripple effect. Like I just got done telling you, like that mindset overflowed into other areas of my life. That's exactly how it works. When you operate from a state of abundance day in and day out, so many things change. It is a true ripple effect. You show up more authentically. You attract opportunities instead of forcing them. You build genuine, I think, soul-aligned connections versus like transactional ones. And you experience more ease, more joy, and more magnetism. Don't you want those things in your life? Like, who doesn't want those things in their life, right? So if these concepts sound like gold to you, then you need to try on this lens. You need to carry this mindset. Start trying this mindset on today. Just like when you try on clothes at the store, you're just going to try it on, see how it feels, sit with it for a little bit. I guarantee it's going to feel freaking great. When you adopt this mindset, it doesn't mean there's some like myths, I guess I'll say, that people carry with this mindset, that abundance mindset means I'm not letting myself feel the emotions. It means like toxic positivity. Absolutely not. That is not the case. Not even a little bit. It actually still includes feeling the emotions. You're not bypassing hard emotions just because you're functioning from a place of abundance. You're not pretending things are all hunky-dory and everything's fine and okay and sunshine and rainbows. Not at all. You're still acknowledging your day-to-day emotions, you guys. You're just not setting up camp in that scarcity and lack anymore. It means you stop making scarcity your identity, okay? I'm not a victim to my circumstances. I'm not suffering. I'm not lacking relationships. I'm not lacking babies. I'm not lacking money. It all flows to me in divine time. There's plenty to go around. But when those emotions come, you're still going to let yourself feel them. Research says you need to sit with an emotion for approximately 90 seconds, and then you can let it go on its way. So if you practice that, which, by the way, is a really, really healthy practice, but you still give yourself permission to feel the feelings. You're just not setting up camp and making that lack mindset become your identity anymore. So I really encourage you to challenge that myth that abundance thinking is toxic positivity, because that's just simply not true. Not even a little bit. It's about resourcefulness. It's about trust. It's about seeing possibility even when going through difficult times. I have a couple of girlfriends lately that have just pointed out to me that, like, even with some of the hardships you're going through right now, you still amaze us that you can bounce back so easily and you continue to keep this like abundance mindset. And I'm proud of that fact. I've done a lot of work to get to this place. It didn't happen overnight for me. So yes, I still have hard times. I'm still going through dealing with certain stressors, but I bounce back. I don't set up camp there. I let myself feel the heavy emotions when I need to feel them. And then I go back to that mindset. Okay, there are some tactical ways that you can train your brain to live from a state of abundance versus lack or scarcity. So some of this might sound cheesy, you guys, but it works. It's the cheesy and it's the woo-woo stuff that works. I promise you that. So my favorite way to practice this and train your brain to see more abundance is just seeing abundance in the daily little things. Okay. So I do a walk every morning with my dog. And way back in the day when I was first starting this work, I would force myself to see abundance in even just the little things. So just notice what's already abundant in your life. I feel an abundance of air coming into my lungs. I feel an abundance of sunlight shining on my skin. I have an abundance of comfort when I lay in my bed at night. There's an abundance of water flowing into my house. There's an abundance of friends in my DMs and my text messages. Specifically though, when I was walking the dog, I would do it like based on what I was seeing. There's an abundance of leaves on the ground. There's an abundance of green grass all around. There's an abundance of houses. There's an abundance of cars. There's an abundance of trees. Like, it sounds super goofy, but you're just training your brain to see more abundance. There's nothing goofy about it. And again, the goofy stuff works. So try it on. Another thing you could do is journaling about it. I feel like I say this in every episode, but journaling works. What can I tell you? So asking or answering the question, what do I have more than enough of right now? And just word dump whatever comes to mind. What do I have more than enough of right now in my life? And then another tool I want to give you is reframing. Gratitude is such a powerful tool you can use in your everyday life. And gratitude is not just a feeling, you guys. It's literally a frequency. There is an energetic frequency to gratitude thoughts. And that frequency is literally the highest vibrational frequency. So when you are functioning from a state of gratitude, you are in a high vibe state, quite literally. So practicing daily gratitude, because it's a frequency that magnetizes more. So if you are day in and day out practicing gratitude, you are going to attract more abundance into your life. Therefore, you're going to see more abundance in your life. That's a powerful tool. I cannot preach that enough, you guys. I do daily gratitude and I will never stop because it's just such a game changer. It's so important to get into the habit of combating scarcity thinking. The daily gratitude, the daily affirmations that I do, the daily noticing abundance in the little things, all of that works to keep me in that mindset. But in those moments when that scarcity is highly triggered, you need a tool to combat it in that moment. So anytime you catch a scarcity thought coming into your mind, things like, I'll never have enough clients, there's not enough time in the day, someone else is ahead of me, everyone else is getting pregnant but me. What you need to do is follow these simple steps. Pause, name it. I recognize that's scarcity talking, that sneaky little bitch. Reframe it. Ask yourself, what if the opposite were true? What if there was an abundance of clients coming to me? Do I have my system set up to be able to handle that? What if there was an abundance of time in the day? Do I have a to-do list to keep me organized, to keep me on track to accomplish those things? What if there were an abundance of babies coming my way? Is my house ready and prepared for that? What if the opposite were true? What if there were more than enough for everyone, including you? What if? So reframe it. Ask yourself those questions. And then 3, act from abundance. What would you do if you trusted that it was already handled? What would you do if you trusted that it was already on its way to you? What would you do? Then do whatever the answer is. When I trusted that a baby was already on its way to me, then the answer to that was I would pour into my business. And I did. I acted on that. I made my business my baby. And I just trusted that baby was on its way to me and it worked. If you haven't heard our adoption story, I don't remember what number episode it is, but go back and listen to it. We manifested that. Okay. So try that to combat that scarcity mindset in the moment. And then just some other tools, some other tricks that you can do is celebrate others' wins just like they're your own. This is huge, you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, you see that I'm constantly celebrating other entrepreneurs or other individuals in general, because I think we need that raises it raises the energetic frequency. We all should be celebrating each other. So when someone else gets what you want, practice saying, if it happened for them, it can happen for me. Their win is proof that it's possible for me. That is what I started doing when I was going through the fertility journey, and it was a game changer for me. This is like advanced abundance work when you do this, because it literally rewires feeling of jealousy, it rewires it into inspiration. So it's huge. This is like advanced level work. And then the only other thing that I'll say is just trust the timing, especially when it feels slow. I'm no stranger to that. There were so many times in my fertility journey when it just felt like snail pace. 7 years and it didn't all feel like it flew by, you guys. It didn't. But trust the timing. The baby that was always meant to be mine found me in divine timing. And no amount of control could have sped that up or stop it. No amount of control. Everything had to line up exactly how it did for that to happen for us. And trust that whatever it is, trust that your clients, trust that money, trust that opportunities, trust that dreams are on their way to you. Because forcing it, ultimately, when you're forcing it, you're trying to control it. That blocks the flow. Okay. The energetic truth about scarcity versus abundance is that scarcity equals a low vibration, a low frequency, feelings like fear, contraction, desperation. That's what comes out of a scarcity mindset. Whereas an abundance mindset equals a high vibration, like gratitude, trust, expansion, ease. That's where you want to function day in and day out around those emotions. You can't attract things from a place of lack. You can't. You're actually pushing your desire away when you're in that place of lack. The energy you put out is the energy you are calling in. So I have an invitation for you. What if you started acting as if abundance was already yours? What if you did? How would you show up differently? I'm just curious. I'd love to hear your answers to this, by the way. Okay, so that's your invitation or a challenge for you. And just as a final reminder, you don't have to wait until things are perfect to believe in abundance. In fact, I wouldn't, because you're going to be waiting for a really long time. You choose it now, in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the waiting. And then when it comes, you're going to be experiencing even more gratitude, even more abundance. Trust me when I say the universe is not running out of blessings. There's enough to go around. There's enough for me. There's enough for you. There always has been. There always will be. The actual challenge I do want to give you is for the next week, every time you catch a scarcity thought, immediately recognize it, flip it, and see what happens when you consistently tell yourself that opposite thought, when you consistently choose the abundance lens. And if you consistently do that, let me know if you notice a shift, because it'll happen. Okay. I'd love to hear from you guys. DM me your biggest scarcity belief and I will help you reframe it. I'd love to hear from you. Whatever that big scarcity belief is, put it in my inbox and let's reframe it together. And I'll give you some affirmations to help with that. But more than anything, share this episode if it resonated with you. Share it with somebody who needs it. Share it with somebody who's stuck in that scarcity or lack mindset. And if you know of someone who's stuck there and who could benefit from my coaching, send them my way. But more than anything, just send this episode their way. And if you want to go deeper on this work with me yourself, go onto my website. It's in the show notes. I'd be happy to work with you guys. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I really enjoyed this episode. This is a topic that I'm just super passionate about. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being loyal. I appreciate all the compliments, all of the feedback, all of the ratings, the reviews. I appreciate it more than you guys know. Have a great rest of your week, guys.
Real quick before you go, I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And congratulations on showing up for you. Every step you take to invest in yourself brings you that much closer to your next level self, and I'm so proud of you. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who could use a little inspiration, or take a screenshot and tag me on socials so we can keep spreading the next level you energy. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Let's freaking go!